Yo, what's happening, everybody? How's everybody doing out there? All right, let's get into this. Getting into this Madden simulation. Bengals versus Steelers. This should be a good one for Saturday. So let's check it out, man. Sit back and enjoy. See what happens.
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and there's no love lost between these AFC North foes. It's the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. All that and more coming up next.
At the confluence of the three rivers, the Ohio, the Allegheny, and the Monongahela, we are here at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
The kicker, Chris Boswell, has it ready to go, and we are underway from Pittsburgh. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Here are the Bengals on offense, and here is Joe Burrow ready to lead them at quarterback.
And when you come into the league as the #1 guy selected, a lot of hype comes with it, and sometimes that weight can be unbearable. But this young man, he took that weight on and handled it as well as you can imagine. And I love his ability to make a second, third reaction play and create downfield.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
He will find his man Chase complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one, and there's an example on this first possession of the game.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now it's Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, but when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
They'll run for the first time here with Brown. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Burrow looking to pass. That's caught. Andre Yoshivas. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Burrow going to get this out to Chase. And Chase going to pick up a Bengals first down as he gets this down to the 13-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
Here's Burrow. It's complete to Brown, right side. So he stopped for no gain, and it's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd and 10. Burrow will throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, that play there was certainly a scouting report special because coverage was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense, and they were there to help force the incompletion.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Burrow. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. 1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. And Burrow going to throw again. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Burrow taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bengals will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Solid finish to a solid opening drive, and that's the threat that he represents. He can take off and score on you.
What he makes it is 11-on-11 football, because a lot of the times the quarterback isn't much of a runner, so you don't have to account for him. Well, you do with him, and now he actually gets a lead blocker instead, and he's able to cash that one in.
Now Cade York for the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it was Joe Burrow who took it himself for the touchdown run. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by their 5'11" quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
Boston, the man in motion left. Now they fake the jet sweep there and a run instead with Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, 2nd down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
To throw is Wilson. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. So a nice play defensively by the rookie coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners, they end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
And this is going to be incomplete. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To the air again, Burrow. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
It always helps when you get great run support from your safeties, and when you get one who can actually read the play and get upfield and shut it down before it gets going, that's exactly what you're looking for.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Now it's Burrow. And he's got his man in stride, complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air.
Open man is Higgins, and he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Bengals lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
York now for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was T. Higgins who capped the drive with the touchdown reception. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Here's Wilson. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he will have a Steelers first down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
But we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit. But how about guys who are maulers? Because that's what you want in short yardage situations. And we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. Play action. Now Wilson. That's caught downfield by Pickens. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Seems like all the fireworks in this first quarter have been on the other sideline. But here they're saying, hey, we've got some explosive guys on our side too. And that's a big play in a game that's looking like it might be full of big plays.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 down at the 31. Harris running straight ahead. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Now Wilson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. A run with Harris out of the shotgun and trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. They'll run again with Harris. Oh, but he's going to be met behind the line and taken down. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And that is incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down as his Cincy defense stands up on 3rd.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a 4th down.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Boswell's kick is good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no wind. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
So for this offense, Charles, remember, drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there was never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
And they'll begin here with a run by Brown. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Cameron Hayward getting upfield to make the stop.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. Now Burrow.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. This is Brown on the draw play. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still 4th down upcoming.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
So on 4th down, Ryan Rico on to punt for the Bengals. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
From the 24 now, here's a 2nd down and 9.
Wilson.
And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
That one came up just a little bit short. I'm wondering, is he still a little bit tight as this game starts? What would you say? Maybe he's got to take the governor off of it?
Or maybe the donut off the baseball bat like the guys in the on-deck circle?
I like that. Yeah, just take that little extra weight off of him and start to play freely.
Here's Wilson to throw.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that 1st down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
On fourth down, Corliss Waitman on to punt. Charlie Jones deep for Cincinnati.
Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field.
Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10.
At their own 27.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you get your best people in the area to try and take that away.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10.
Burrow, throw left side, complete to Chase.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
That one goes for 8 yards. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another 1st down, almost back to the drawing board.
A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Now 2nd and 9.
He'll look to throw. Now a short one to Gesicki.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. This is Brown going up the middle. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3-and-out.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. After one, a 14-3 ball game. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Got him in. It's Brown. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Burrow looking to pass. And this is going to be incomplete. So 2 third-down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away no good. And this will remain an 11-point spread. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
And because they couldn't hit the long field goal, they are set up nicely offensively at the 41, 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, 2nd down.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
From the 43, here's a 2nd and 8.
They run again with Harris. Escapes the defender. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Throwing is Wilson. And he finds Austin complete. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that will bring up 2nd down. Now it's Wilson. It's Williams on the catch. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris.
And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown.
Pat Freiermuth.
28 yards.
And the Steelers are back within a score.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
And we got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
They keep it on the ground. Again, it's Brown. Powers ahead at the 45. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Here's Burrow. This pass complete to Higgins. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43.
And that one complete once again to Higgins.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. On the right side, open is Gesicki. 7 yards there and a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And they go play action now. Burrow. Throw right side into the hands of the tight end Sample. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
This is 2nd and 8.
Now it's Burrow. Caught on the right side by Jones.
And the Bengals are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out.
That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
4 yards on the touchdown grab.
And the Bengals are able to add on to that lead.
That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good, we're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done.
The York on now for the extra point.
It's good, and it's 21-10. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told.
And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. New York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Williams.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2nd down at 6 now from the 42.
Here's Wilson.
Pickens on the slant. Down to the 10.
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
George Pickens.
58 yards.
And the Steelers are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. Extra point now by Boswell. And he's got it to make this a 21-17 game. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Bengals offense and Joe Burrow getting set for this next drive. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jones. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Now a 2nd and 2. And Chase will go in motion left.
Now it's Burrow. And he can't hang on to it, and the screen never got started.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 4 of 7. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a 1st down.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Burrow on play action. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
He's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. To the air again, Burrow.
Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. And the Steelers are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
George Pickens and the Steelers headed back out for another series.
He's up near 100 yards now here in the 2nd quarter, but his team's down.
Through no fault of his own. I mean, what a nice game he's having so far. They've got to keep finding ways to get him the football. Don't get away from that. Figure out where things are going wrong with the rest of the team.
He'll be hoping to hit that 100-yard mark on this drive. He's got it to Williams. Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Now it looks like we're going to get a stoppage here. An injured Steeler on that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Second down and a yard.
They hand this off to Harris. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a 1st down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Now run straight ahead with Warren.
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
To throw is Wilson.
Complete to Austin here over the middle.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Here's 3rd and 6.
Here's Wilson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Sheldon Rankins in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
But that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey.
4th down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line.
The Bengals offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
But not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
Burrow will throw.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Joey Porter Jr.
And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Following the interception, they're set up nicely here, already inside the red zone, knocking on the door, if you will. 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
After the interception, here's Wilson.
That's caught. It's Austin left side.
And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson.
Slant route, and he's got Freiermuth.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. On the give, this is Harris.
And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Now Wilson. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Steelers have taken the lead. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far and fun to watch. Boswell for the extra point. And that one gives them a 3-point lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And that's a good start right there. This game has changed pretty dramatically in the last few minutes. So now these guys are forced to play from behind here. And that's a positive first step towards claiming this lead right back.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a second down. Burrow looking to pass. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Here's third and a few inches. Now Burrow. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he is going to have a Bengals first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Throwing again on second down. Burrow. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Again, it's Burrow.
Over the middle, he finds Higgins.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
In motion goes the tight end. Here's Burrow. Over the middle, complete. That's Jones. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
Second down and 3. Ball on the 7.
And Burrow going to throw again. Touchdown, Bengals!
Jamar Chase on a touchdown throw from Joe Burrow. And the Bengals will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
York now for the extra point.
And that will make this a 4-point game. So that one a long 11-play drive.
And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Steelers offense and George Pickens set to take over again. And seemingly every time they've looked his way in this first half, it has resulted in a big play, as borne out by the numbers.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Here's Wilson to throw.
He'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson.
And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's second down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Wilson. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That's a really good job in execution. They avoided the flag downfield and avoided giving up yardage for free. Really good coverage.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now Wilson.
Got his man. It's Warren.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Again, Wilson. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing is Wilson. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Wilson.
He finds Pickens over the middle.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. Boswell's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
This one's been all you could hope for as an NFL fan. Just a one-point game here at halftime. This has been as much fun as you could hope for with both these teams in it to win it.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Steelers offense and Russell Wilson headed back onto the field. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Play action. Now Wilson. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
Well, that turned out better than most of the passes he could have thrown on that snap. The coverage downfield was excellent, but the containment close to home left him a backdoor escape, and they paid dearly for not locking up.
So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10. Wilson.
Complete. Jefferson the target.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. So a decent gain there, but not their 4th consecutive first down like they had on the first 3 plays.
You sound almost disappointed there. You want to fire the offensive coordinator on that one or what?
They'd gotten into a rhythm. I thought they were just going to keep going.
Well, almost a win for the defense, but if that's your win, you're not doing very well right now.
To throw is Wilson.
And here's Freiermuth again.
No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact, but that time they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
Boswell's kick is good, and they have regained the lead. Now, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. Well, now how about this return?
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back.
A very solid gain of 27. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Now it's Burrow. This pass complete to Higgins. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
From the gun, a give to Brown.
About 3 yards there to the 27.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. In motion to tight end. They'll run on third down with Brown. Well, he's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Cade York on now for the field goal.
From the right hash, this from 48.
York able to send this one through,
and they have regained the lead.
So give them 3 on that drive. You know, normally you'd say we'll take it, but the way points have been flying around, it feels like a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah, you just have to wonder, are field goals going to be enough? Because as you pointed out, the way touchdowns have been scored, does kicking a field goal actually put you at a disadvantage the rest of the way?
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Calvin Austin, 75 yards. And the Steelers have taken the lead here in this third quarter.
I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. Man, one play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
Now Mike Tomlin says, let's go ahead and go for 2. Wilson going to throw for it. And that is caught for the 2 points. So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Here's a 2nd down and 7 from the 37. They go play action with Burrow. He's across midfield. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Chase, the motion man right.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it.
Open man is Chase, complete.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
Well, plays like that, Charles, no doubt, they're just going to continue to fuel this crowd.
And this defense is already playing well, but it also feeds on the energy of that crowd that you're talking about, and that takes them up to another level. Right now, they're playing really loose. They've got the lead, and what a nice stop they just made there behind the line of scrimmage.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
44 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A gain of 8 there on the play. And they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. Burrow will throw. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide, because that's prime pick-6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Running right, here's Brown. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. Off the play fake, here's Burrow.
And he'll find Chase on the right side, complete.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
Jamar Chase on the touchdown throw from Joe Burrow. And the Bengals are an extra point away from evening this one up.
It's been quite the game for him individually. A trio of touchdown catches now.
So pick a route, any route. Whatever you want him to run, he's going to do it and do it well and end up in the end zone. This has really been fun to watch.
The York on now for the extra point.
And that will tie our game here in the 3rd quarter. So that drive in total 8 plays.
And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Here's Wilson.
This one finds Austin out right.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They'll roll him out right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield.
He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
Out route to Jefferson, and he's got it.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards for number 11.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Here's Wilson.
He's got this to Pickens.
And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
But he's turning in a nice performance. Remember, he had the touchdown earlier, and this time he's able to beat double coverage to grab it.
I think that if he weren't worried about a taunting penalty, he'd run by the opposing team's bench and say, guys, 2's not going to be enough. You better get some more guys trying to cover me. He knows how to get open downfield.
Now Wilson.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
Van Jefferson.
An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers are going to take the lead. And a great example there of just getting the feet in a tough spot. It seems like every year these guys get better at this.
Well, I think the drills get better that they work on, training camp, off-season work, OTAs, but also a lot of these guys have dance backgrounds, ballet backgrounds, and they take that and carry it over to the football field.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and they will take a 7-point lead. So the drive there took 6 plays.
And it was all capped off by the Van Jefferson touchdown reception.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Bengals offense and Jamar Chase set to take over once more. And he was pretty much unguardable in that first half. You see the numbers there as they try to add to him here in this third quarter.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
Still 9 yards to go on second down from the 27.
They will toss to Brown. And he is going to lose yardage here. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
And that's exactly what you're looking for, the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. The throw out wide going to be incomplete.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out. And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
57 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Defensively, they were in the 3-4, and that O-line just dominated the D-line there.
Let's go with a verbal telestrator here because that D-line has a nose over the center, and it has the 2 defensive ends over the offensive tackles. That means the guards don't have anyone over the top of them. That creates a natural bubble inside where they sprint upfield, take on the inside linebackers. If the back hits it fast enough, there should be space to run.
And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. 2nd down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Now Burrow. This one complete to Yoshivas.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A Bengal 1st down on the 16-yard pickup there.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown. And he'll manage only a couple up to the 48.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd down and 8. Right back to Brown. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Now 3rd down and 7.
Now it's Burrow. This will be caught by Brown.
And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short.
And that's good for a gain of 6.
And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And you get a look at the numbers, they don't even tell the whole story. This has been a tremendous performance to this point. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Harris running straight ahead. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Now a give, running left is Harris. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. So both offenses come to life here in this 3rd quarter as this is shaping up for a good finish. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh as we've got the final quarter upon us. We get ready to start the 4th. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Shotgun handoff to Brown here. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Now that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum. Or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top. Or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on 3rd down.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Out of the gun, it's Burrow.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward.
I'll tell you what, this is not for the faint of heart right here. 4th down, this is taking a big risk. But it's as good a play call as you can imagine. And the defense just not able to come up with the stop they needed. And this is not just a 1st down, but a big play as well.
A run here with Brown. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guys in the cornerback position.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. That's to the pylon and incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. Touchdown! Jamar Chase on the touchdown throw from Joe Burrow. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying this game here on the 4th. So that one, his 4th touchdown catch of the game, one behind the all-time record of 5. York now for the extra point. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And able to get this out to the 25. George Pickens back out now with the rest of the offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Wilson completes this one to Pickens. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Now the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback He's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third. Here's Wilson to throw. Flushed out right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Bengals offense and running back Chase Brown set to take over once more. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter.
And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Burrow.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
Burrow looking to pass.
And he'll go right back to Chase. That's caught again.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
They'll give this up the middle to Brown. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and making sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
Now it's Burrow.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 32-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another 1st.
Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectations.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board. And, of course, the guy throwing them, he's a big-time player himself. They brought it from start to finish and really helped get the better of the opposing secondary.
2nd down and 3.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it.
Open man is Yoshivas.
And he's brought down, but not before a gain of 13, down to the 13. 1st and 10 in the red zone.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
In motion comes the tight end left. Burrow will throw. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. To the air again, Burrow.
That's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
Right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to allow extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
Back to throw again. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie.
York able to send this one through.
And they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It's Williams on the catch. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on 1st down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
2 yards to go, 2nd down.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 5 yards that time, taking it himself, and he has enough for the first.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the fourth. So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
From the 42-yard line, here's second down at 7.
To throw is Wilson.
Got his man, it's Warren.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
And now a tip of the cap to the man under center, Charles. He just went over 400 yards passing in this ball game. He's got the touchdown passes to boot, taking pretty good care of the ball. Just all around a really solid performance.
Yeah, just check, 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 and check, right? Because he certainly showed he was worthy of the trust that his team put in him. A handful of touchdowns to his credit thus far. Now he's just crossing off yardage milestones, and win or lose, his name has to be in serious discussion for player of the game.
Second and 5.
Wilson will throw again.
Got an open man, it's Pickens.
A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They run with Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers.
Najee Harris.
A 21-yard touchdown run.
And the Steelers have taken a fourth-quarter lead. Now, this has definitely been a back-and-forth affair, and now they have the lead here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and they gave up the field goal on that last drive, as we remember, but it felt like their offense told them, don't worry about it. We've got your backs. We'll come back with a touchdown of our own, and they did.
Extra point now by Boswell. And that will make this a 4-point game. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all.
And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The visitors' offense and their big play wideout getting ready to get back to work. And he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early, and it has paid giant rewards to this stage of the game.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
Second and 10.
Now it's Burrow.
This one complete to Yoshibas.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Now Burrow. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
This one, an absolute must. It's 4th and 4.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
And that one complete once again to Higgins.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain.
Short gain last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely, this defense, they're saying go right ahead with those.
Here's 2nd down and 3. Burrow.
That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with an even 90 seconds remaining on the clock.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. To throw, Burrow.
Now a short one to Gesicki.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Throwing, Burrow. Over the middle, he finds Higgins.
They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Well, this crowd into it now. 3rd and 2. Here's Burrow.
And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Nice solid gain there, partner, but the clock is starting to become his enemy.
Absolutely. Every second right now, more and more precious as it ticks.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now.
The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Another big play in a game that's had plenty of them. 4th and 2.
They'll try and throw forward with Burrow.
That is caught. He's got the first down and more than that.
And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
And that touchdown, his 5th touchdown grab of the game, and that ties him with Jerry Rice from 1990, Kellen Winslow Sr. from 1981, and Bob Shaw back in 1950 for the most receiving touchdowns in a single NFL contest. Extra point by York is up and good.
And it would appear, barring some late heroics, they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away.
And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Now Wilson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. A costly sack. They'll have to use a timeout here. And barring a defensive penalty, they'll be looking at one final play.
They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long.
One last shot for Wilson. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play they were so backed up it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it, because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded, because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say good night from Pittsburgh.
Man, that was one hell of a game. It's interesting from start to finish. Man, that was crazy. Man, I actually cannot wait to watch this game tomorrow, too, to check it out. Because it's going to be a good one. Because it means a lot, especially for the Bengals trying to get in the playoffs. So, yeah, you know. But anyways, appreciate y'all for watching my video, supporting me. And if you don't, I appreciate it if you would follow me on YouTube or Twitch. _money, all your support counts. Like I said, I appreciate y'all. And I'll be back soon enough. Until next time.